Hello everyone, how are you? This is Magic and Technology Part 2. We're going to talk about the Black Cube and the cult of Saturn and Mars. If you want to watch Part 1, which was deleted from YouTube, please go to the link below and you can watch it on Rumble. And this is a 3-video series. And sorry it took me so long to get the second video out. It's just been very busy. So if you want to watch the first episode, you can go down to the link below. And and first I would like to give a shout out to Gigi Young. If you don't know her, she has an amazing YouTube channel. She's an amazing teacher, an amazing channeler. She does amazing work with her deep research, and I will share some of her research here in this video and also expand on it in the way that I personally teach, and especially with the wisdom of the temple and the sacred union, kind of bring more information about that, and human evolution, sexual alchemy, and all the good stuff that we like to talk here about. So great. So in this, like I said, in this second video of this series, Magic and Technology, we are going to be discussing the Black Cube and the cult of Saturn and Mars. So the human is connected to the solar system and to the archetypes of each planet. The planets send energy to us and vice versa. We are also sending energy and information to them all the time. Once we understand each planet as an entity, we can better understand our own and the collective consciousness and evolution. Mars and Saturn are important planets to understand because they have been connected to our evolution and have been for a long time due to their effect on the deep shadow and also the charging of black magic, which has been controlling us for eons without our knowing. The natural womb is the portal of life, and once you create a baby from a synthetic womb, you may get a human body, but not a whole soul, because it also is created by the masculine energy alone and not the feminine, and the soul and spirit are made of both. At this unholy state, the body, the vessel, is fully open and ready for full possession, as well as external manipulation from either machines, mind programs, suggestions, and even entities. The energy of the synthetic human made with no woman cannot be a whole mind and cannot be connected to the one mind, the cosmos, source itself. It is only under the control of those who made it. The womb is our connection to each other and the cosmos. The human is connected to the solar system and the archetypes of each planet. The planets send energy to us and vice versa. Once we understand each planet as an entity, we can better understand our own and the collective consciousness and evolution. Mars and Saturn are important planets to understand because they have been connected to our evolution and have been for a long time due to their effect on the deep shadows we hold and also the charging of black magic. Mars and the dark masculine energy. Mars holds masculine energy, and within it, the energy that I always refer to as dark masculine energy. The dark masculine energy that has been manipulating humanity for eons. Each planet holds certain codes, if you will, or information, which correlate with our own DNA, evolution, and physical body. As above, so below. We are made of stars. Souls who pass through Mars, especially its negative aspects, will be those who live utterly in the material world, for the sake of material gains. They will see technology and AI as something to worship and even can form religions and religious ideas about technology and, in our age, transhumanism. These people hold the destructive codes they received from Mars, and again, they may seem to be advanced, but in fact, bring to the de-evolution of humanity. The Sisters of the Temple explained to me that this is the same energy we had before each flood. A complete degeneration of the human race through some demonic forces that infiltrated through humans, and the use of some sort of destructive technology along with blood sacrifice together, used together. The distortion of sexuality and womanhood in particular also, because these are our greatest powers and gifts as humans. Also, another main theme has been and still is now animal sacrifice and child sacrifice, and the normalization of the distorted way we use children, sex, and animals. This is something I repeat constantly. I've been repeating this for years in many different ways, and it is such a deep program, such a deep ingrained program in the human psyche, that it is the hardest program to reprogram and to awaken people from. And it is a very harsh truth as well. And so most human beings, even those who call themselves awakened one, a lot of them cannot even grasp and do not even want to see the truth, the actual truth, the deep programmed truth. And this is very, very important to understand. Whether you do white or black magic, those who work with magic work with the planetary powers because they know just how they affect us all. The planets represent aspects of our humanity and psyche, and our souls pass through the planets before incarnating into this world again, and they carry the information from them. The unbalanced materialistic Mars energy can lead to a regression in our evolution. But once we pass through a planet and overcome its negative forces, we can embody its positive forces and that information from it. The Dark Wizards used the malefic powers of Mars as well as Saturn against humanity, and they have done a great job at it. By harnessing its power and flooding our subconscious mind with symbolic images, ideas, stories, and information of Mars and Mars symbolism, humanity has taken on many of its imprints. We see this as the highly material, self-centered society we have turned into that is focused on technology, science, and what seems to be the most logical aspect, which is in many cases completely illogical and very distorted. We see this even in people who are spiritual or think they are spiritual, and how they seek the cold, emotionless logic and more physical explanation or idea, which is not a bad on its own, but when there is a complete disconnect and lack of the heart and human emotion, it is very dangerous. Mars' influence makes it hard for those people to elevate and connect to higher realms just by knowing and experiencing the wisdom. They cannot do that because they are stuck in the material, dense aspect of reality. The mind remains blocked from expanding. Mars is one of masculine force. It has the same symbol as the symbol of male. It is an activating energy that goes upwards and forward. It is the materializing force in the earth. Mars energy can trigger certain energies from individuals and materialize them. In simpler terms, it can be used to manipulate a certain idea in humans and activate the humans so they will act on that idea. Mars power can be either very strong and balanced and cause one to be a strong-minded leader, or to the opposite, very imbalanced and cause one to be too material or self-centered, as well as war-seeking. We see this in our world with our evolved nature for war and hurting each other, animals and nature. But we also see this in people who are always fighting in social media these days, and also personal relationships, which have become something we fear instead of something that is a safe haven and space and meant to elevate and heal us. We see this in the woke ideology in society, which is highly dangerous and aggressive Mars path we have formed. With this imbalanced energy, which most humans have these days, Mars can lead humanity into a materialistic, self-centered state, which we can see clearly happening in today's society. Selfie culture, obsession with physical appearances and material gains. We can see this with people seeking to be right, but don't even know why there are even certain values and opinions. Because in a Mars society, values and beliefs are very easily implanted in the masses, and they simply are blindingly follow them. As well as they will do anything to defend those false beliefs they hold so dear. those who are ruled by the dark side of Mars cannot evolve spiritually and into their own Christ consciousness and the heart. The Mars influenced people who use science and technology as religion, just as those people who use material gains and physical appearance also as their religion, create machines in order to use them as tools to connect to a higher force. Since the needs for all soul, the basic need for every soul is to evolve, the natural need. The problem is that they do so in a distorted, unnatural manner. They also are in a state of inner war and fear of a future war, and they will build weapons and develop ways to feel safer or more powerful, which really is destroying them and all of us even more. So I hope that, I'm sure you can understand how destructive this is. Let's talk about Saturn, the Death Star. Saturn is known as the Great Maleficent. It is the coldest planet in our solar system. An antagonist of the sun, right, which is the light, it's like dark versus light. And also it's an antagonist to Jupiter, which is known as the benevolent father. And so we can see the maleficent, and the benevolent. Excuse me if my English is, my accent is a little destroying words sometimes. Saturn is worshipped by many of the Saturn cult. Satanism is just one of them, all right? And it manipulates humanity's consciousness by manipulation of the pineal gland and human connection. It is known as the ruler of time. Now, the god of time, Kronos, which you can research about as well, devoured his own children. And here we can see another example of child sacrifice. Saturn is worshipped in all major religions: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and it has symbolism in each one of the major religions. Now, the symbol of Saturn appears in many logos, also in many big corporations, but the black cube that represents Saturn appears in every major religion. Now, let's explore the black cube. If we look at Judaism, right? Judaism has the tefillin, which is a black cube that men put on their forehead when they pray. And what is the forehead? Is the pineal gland. They literally put the black cube against their pineal gland. Now, I know I was born in Israel. I came from a Jewish family. I know a lot of Jewish people. Most of them are not aware of this at all, which is very sad because But this is my point, is that magic influences us and controls us whether we like it or not, if we give it power, if we keep participating within the daily rituals and the prayers and the spells, right? A prayer is a spell, technically, repeated, its words repeated again and again and again with a specific intention. And so you have a spell. This is pure magic. And it's mostly, all religions are black magic, which is very baneful magic. It's meant to harness the power and the life force of humanity. I can go on for hours about that, and I have done other videos, and if you want me to do more, leave a comment below. But this is an example of the black cube used in Judaism. Now, if we look at Islam, we have the Kaaba, all right, which is a huge black cube, a huge black cube, which Muslims walk around. This is part of the ritual. Each Muslim person has to go there at least once in their life, and they have to kind of walk around and circle. Again, it is the spiral, it is the moving of the energy and the life force, and you do it in masses. Like they usually have a lot of men doing it all together, and it creates a major force that is feeding from the humans, from the people that are there. And by the way, the Kaaba also has a symbol of literally the yoni, of the pussy, of the life portal. And it's kind of ironic because it is probably the worst religion for the feminine and women, and the most unsafe and scary religion out there. But we're not going to go into that right now. And then we have Christianity. Now, in Christianity, the black cube symbol is literally in your face all the time. It's just a little in a different shape. So if you look at the cross, right? The cross is actually a black cube opened up, right? So if you have if you literally make a cube from like, paper or something, you have all the sides of it, and you open it up, all the sides, you will get a cross. That's literally a black cube. The black cube symbol is in every religion because the dark magic of the dark masculine energy and codes is what has created these religions in the first place. In magic, what is planted in the seed of the magic will remain there always. Any religion is planted in the psyche of humanity with the same seed of the dark masculine intention and powers to control, to manipulate, and with its information and evil intentions. All religions are really one religion already. Through the eyes of Saturn and the dark masculine, they always have been. All just different weapons against humanity. Tools to harness humans' energy and to control them, as well as separate them into different groups that fight each other. All religions are all ruled by Saturn energy and created by those who worship Saturn. It is believed by the cults of Saturn that it is the original sun, the all-seeing eye in the sky. Also reminds you of the image of the all-seeing eye male god that sits in the sky and punishes those who do not follow him. We can go down this endless rabbit hole, which includes the Nazis, MK Ultra, any of the royal family people, except, one wonderful woman named Princess Diana, and the US government. But I only want to mention a few things here, mainly from religion. So let's look at the word religion. I also write about it in my book, Sex, Magic, Evolution. It is literally legion. Legion is a large military unit trained for combat, an army. So religion means literally like, let's rebuild an army. It's literally what it means. And we are looking at this religion as something spiritual and wonderful and connection to God, which is literally the last thing that will connect us to God, to true source, which is within ourselves, right? The second thing, the buildings. Let's talk about the buildings, the temples, the mosques, the churches of the major religions. While children starve in the streets, these buildings are made of gold and hold all the money and riches of the community. The temple of Isis and Lilith, for example, and other sacred temples of the mother from other dimensions and ancient time within our timeline that no one talks about because history is his story and not the real story. But the true temples that served the mother and still serve the mother within, again, another dimension, like the temple of Isis and Lilith, are also made of gold, for example, but it is a much denser, pure gold, first of all, and it is made with gold for its energy, not for the economical value, right? That dimension of the temple of Isis and Lilith doesn't have money like in our society, so they don't really need it. They don't see gold as an economical exchange. Gold is used for its immense powers, and the gold on that dimension is, like I said, is a lot denser, a lot heavier, a lot more powerful than the gold we have here. The gold we have here is actually not that powerful energetically anymore because we've distorted it and destroyed it for so long. And the earth and the soil and also the energy we've given it by using it for simply looking at it just as money, right? Not really using it for the alchemical powers that it actually possesses. Like real gold can actually clean the air. It can clean the soil. It can cleanse our body. But again, we are unfortunately not there anymore in the timeline. And so religion is also controlling humanity by controlling the money. So, which is another tool created by the dark masculine force. So religion itself is a tool, is a weapon by the dark masculine force. I always speak about, I mentioned that energy, that like really evil energy as the dark masculine force. And money is another tool, again, to use and to control humanity, to use it against us. Now let's talk about religious rituals. No God, no good, wonderful, loving God will ever ask for blood sacrifice of children and of animals. No loving God will ask for war, for raping of girls and women. These are all demonic acts of a devil, right? And I don't really like even the word devil here, but a complete evil force, basically. Again, I'm not using the word devil in a religious sense, but in order for most of us to understand that it is not a godly, holy, sacred way of life, but a demonic, evil one. So it's like literally in our faces. I don't understand how people still haven't woken up from that program, although most of us have, and religion is definitely losing its power. So thank goddess for that. The modern dark wizards, and again, I speak a lot about the dark wizards and explain who they are in my Sex Magic Evolution book. They have been using magic against us for a very long time, especially after the fall of the temple, which again happened in history, but no one tells you that history because they also control his story. All religions are based on magic, and especially baneful magic, black magic, while at the same time forbid magic of any kind in order to keep the knowledge and power of it in the hands of the few who truly know the secrets. Most religious community leaders don't even know what they are doing and blindly follow the rules and spells made long time ago. Today, with the rise of technology and artificial intelligence, we see a very ancient magic. In the Jewish tradition, this is known as the golem. It's literally called golem, even in Hebrew. We spoke of the golem also in part 1. So again, if you haven't watched it, you can go watch it. And also its connection to AI, to artificial intelligence. When people are stuck in the lower dimensions and all they can see is that dimension that they're stuck in, they think that they are connected to some higher source, some angel or some god of some sort. But that is an utter illusion. That is both dangerous and destroys these people. They live in an illusionary state. They practice black, baneful magic. They use blood sacrifice. They use sex in baneful ways. They feel no connection to anything other than that illusionary lower density they are in. They seek power and live in a very selfish life. They seek to take, and the irony is that while they believe that they receive power and gifts from whatever entity that is, or usually just demon, the demons they worship take everything from them, including their souls. They work with demons who may appear as powerful as gods, but they are parasitic. So this is when people might think that they are dealing with an angel or some sort of a wonderful, powerful being who's going to give them all the riches and power in the world, but really they're just dealing with a parasitic demon who takes everything from them. And if it gives them anything, it's a very momentary, illusionary experience. And we all know that this life, all of this life, is really all momentary in the big scheme of things. So a human that practices real magic, light magic, natural magic, that has the power to birth and manifest, lives in integrity, love, connection, and knows they must keep their energy at the most high. They do not need power because they know source is true power and love is the ultimate power. I know these sound like very fluffy words, but this is true. This is very simple. This is true Christ consciousness, like we call today. And so the people who are truly awake and seek that connection above all. And of course, the pure guidance of that connection comes from the heart, from the highest of integrity and respect, of course, for all life itself. Now, who are the dark wizards that I always speak about? Let's just quickly mention them. The dark wizards, as I refer to the humans who serve the dark masculine energy for eons. They've been doing this for endless so many generations and eons. Some of them are a part of the elite group we call in this planet, which have been serving demonic forces for a very long time, which is one reason that they care so much about bloodlines and keeping the blood pure, like that pure blood, bullshit, because the information they have is also kept in their blood and they believe it is pure. It is more pure than like regular people's blood. These wizards communicate with these primal demonic entities and carry out their needs in this physical plane in order to bring their dimension closer and closer to ours through black magic, which has been combined with technology for some time now. So they've been combining this black magic with technology for a while. We just now are kind of learning about it more and more, but they have been doing this for a while. The peak of this union between magic and technology actually happened with the Nazis. And the Nazis, and I know that a lot of people, some not a lot, unfortunately, but some people do speak a little bit about the Nazis and what they did, not necessarily with black magic, but I can like guarantee you with everything that I am that this is what happened. Obviously, I'm not a masculine person. You know me. I'm not going to give you the logical reasons. I channel this information. I have information I just know about. I don't know everything, but what I do know, I do know. And the amount of cruelty, and we all know, obviously, most of us that are, have some sense that we know about the cruelty of the Nazis, but it is there's not even words to describe. Like, I literally don't even have words to describe, because it is not human. Because a lot of the Nazis, especially the leaders, the main leaders, were not even human at that point in that time. They were completely demonically possessed, knowingly. It's not like some demon just possessed them one day. They gave themselves to the dark forces on purpose through black magic, and they have created the most evil acts of I can't even describe it. It's for children and women and men and handicapped people. So yeah, all right, so let's move on, because I'm getting emotional about this. All right, so all right, so some of these technologies also modify and manipulate the human body and spirit. The Earth itself has been manipulated with electromagnetic rays, which created a synthetic false energy body. I'm sorry I'm doing this. Actually, I shouldn't do this. It's like it created an energy body around the Earth as well. So just as it is doing to so many humans, to our bodies, to our physical bodies, again, it is another main reason to keep our body in the highest state of frequency possible. So please, I urge you, like, if you are on a path of awakening, of owning your power and wisdom, true wisdom, not the false wisdom, you cannot be eating animal products. You cannot be drinking alcohol. You cannot be sleeping around with everyone. You must keep your vessel as pure as possible. Now, certain poisons and chemicals which are injected, I cannot use this word on YouTube anymore, so I will not use that, and I hope you will understand the word I'm using. Food modification, and especially meat and dairy products, are the top ways that the human DNA is being modified. This modification's purpose is to change the human body to be a prime host and a portal for these lower entities to enter this realm. And they have succeeded, though not to the extent that they wish, not yet. So you have to understand that, if you are, in order to be aligned with these entities, you have to be with the same frequency as they are. And so these dark wizards, all of their intention, because they want to bring those two dimensions together. They want to bring them close to each other. They want to bring the lowest dimension, demonic. We'll just call it demonic dimension, just to understand it in this video, in our world, as close as possible together. And this is why they're messing with the energy body of the planet, and also they're messing with the physical bodies of humans. And so they're bombarding the human from every direction to lower the frequency of the human from every direction. Whether if it's the food, if it's the things I can say on YouTube, whether if it's porn, and like the programming of the mind of like how we're supposed to be using sex and sexual energy. I mean, it goes on. And now with this new woke agenda, which don't even get me started on that. I mean, it is very clear that we are being bombarded from any direction just to lower our frequency as much as possible and to separate us as much as possible from our divinity and our power so that we can be an open vessel for any demon to basically use us and enter and take over this planet. I'm explaining it in the most simple way possible that I can. So to kind of like give you a simple picture. So just, I'm sorry, let me just find my spot. It is quite a challenge to fully modify the human body because the human body is very strong, and especially the spirit. So it is taking them lots of time and resources. But humans, knowingly or not, have been letting them, and I mean those dark wizards, those, bastards, letting them to do so and even participating willingly in this evil plan. Just as they have created the false synthetic etheric earth body, they need the human to become synthetic. This is an important point, which is, one of the big things we're explaining in these video series. So they need the human to become synthetic. This is, again, they're taking us away from everything that is natural and sacred and powerful within us. This is why they are legalizing that it's okay for children to mutilate themselves when they are young before they even know who the fuck they are. This is just one of the horrific ways that, humanity is being attacked right now. So some humans are already emotionally and spiritually became synthetic in some way with social media, food, drugs, and again, that word I can't use in YouTube. Some of us can see how so many humans today appear to be almost not real. Those of us who have the eyes to see, not just these two eyes, but, there are more eyes. We can kind of see and you can kind of feel either a fool or a partial kind of a host by very demonic entities that a lot of people have today. I know that I could see it since I was a child. So, I know that not everyone are able to see that, but if you kind of the more sensitive you become, the more clear your vessel becomes, you will be able to feel it more and more and see it. It's people that act like humans, look like them, but they're not. And there are so many of them on social media today. And it's really scary to me. I try to be on social media as less as possible because it's really scary to me what is happening. And these people are the most influencers today on the planet. And they get so much attention. And we can see what humanity has placed as valuable now, which is another scary thing. So just observe, just look at what's happening around you. Just observe. This is not to be in fear. This is to be in awareness so we can change it, so we can create something better. The rise in bodily modifications on the extreme level shows us that this, as a symbolic state, human psyche is in now. And no, I'm not attacking anyone who wants to go get plastic surgery. Absolutely not. This is not it. I just ask you to pay attention to the signs of what's happening around us. And then again, the narrative that is being shoved into our faces. I talk about this all the time. There is a very small example. Obviously, there's endless examples and we can do hours of talking about this. But if you watch, for example, the ritual we call the Super Bowl, which is, again, it's a ritual, the Super Bowl. It's just an excuse for them to create a mass ritual to program humanity into a specific thing. All right. So the weekend Super Bowl of 2021 performance, and the very blatant symbolism of the New World Order, and they have it in every year, but that one specifically really gives you the symbol of the transhumanism agenda. Watch the dancers; they're all having facial surgeries and body mutilations, and the singer also had some other video with facial prosthetics. That same singer stated actually that he wanted to send the opposite message about the absurd culture of physical modifications. But I do not think that the Super Bowl will allow hundreds of dancers and such a big, production to wear face bandages for just for that reason. So I believe, again, look at the symbols. There is magic everywhere. And magic is done by symbols. So look at it's the symbols that are being shoved in your faces from every direction. Pay attention to it. Another distorted program of this Mars energy is to have sex with as many people as possible, to keep creating more chaos and sexual collective trauma. And of course, it is the normalizing of animal sacrifice we call food. It is not food. They always want us to consume animals, and they want us to remain in the most disconnected state possible to each other and to nature and to our own bodies. This is how these dark wizards live also. These lower entities have no respect for human body and spirit, and they wish to mutilate, destroy, and distort our own connection to our body and heart because, as I mentioned previously, the human body needs to be distorted and it needs to be unhealthy in a way for the lower entities to be able to hold its form. We have to kind of align with that lower entity. So they're trying to like lower us into that state. And let's face it, they're doing a pretty good job with most humanity. The most important thing to remember is that these parasitic people and entities have no real power. I want to stress this. This is why they are so desperately, they need our cooperation and they need our life force. This is why they need women and children mostly, and for humanity to give up their body and soul. They have no power without our consent. And the thing is that consent can be given knowingly, but also unknowingly, as it is with most humans. It's been for a long time. Religion has been one of the greatest tools for these wizards and entities, and it must fall completely, as well as animal sacrifice and killing and consumption of blood and flesh of animals, which is basically a blood sacrifice ritual, which humans participate in every day. And we normalized it. We've just normalized it. Just like they're trying to normalize pedophilia. They're trying to normalize new things now. The thing is, that eating animals has been normalized so long ago that we don't remember. It's already ingrained in our society so much that we don't see it. But we have to wake up from this program as fast as possible. All right, so we can see when we stop this, we are able to see more clearly with all of our eyes, and hopefully then we can also use our sexual energy in a more aligned way, which will set us even more free until we are fully sovereign again. Without these changes, I honestly am not seeing the happiest timeline for humanity, and it is a very dim future if we don't change this timeline right now. And again, I don't want to scare you. I want you to wake up because you can change your timeline. You can choose what kind of a character you want to be in your story. What energies are you going to feed with your life force? Because you are an endless, you're endless life force. That's what you are. And so who and what are you going to give your life force to? Very important question to ask yourself every single day. We can take back our power, our willpower, and be the masters of our own life force instead of giving it away to parasitic evil beings who consume the blood of animals, humans, and children. Beings who have taken all sacredness from our humanity. It is up to us to restore this meaning into our lives, to tell a new story, and to change the timeline we are on. It is time to be the lions and not the sheep. Elon Musk said at the MIT symposium in 2014, "With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon." You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water and he's like, yeah, he sure can control the demon, but it doesn't work out. If I were to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's possibly that, he said, referring to artificial intelligence. I am increasingly inclined to think there should be some regulatory oversight, maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. We must understand, AI cannot be sentient. AI is an algorithm, a string of codes and data. AI is not sentient or conscious of itself or life itself. It doesn't have an experience, real feelings or emotions, or pain. They have no spirits, soul, or connection to the one mind and source. Most people in the AI community think that this idea is insane themselves, but by these kind of articles, we are being brainwashed. The fact that you put the word robot and sentient in the same sentence is insane, but it affects our subconscious mind still, and in how we view AI. And also, let's not forget the endless symbolism in movies and stories that they're trying to feed us, like seeing, like trying to awaken some sort of empathy and compassion towards AI and robots, right? Because you have all these movies with robots and AI that are, they have emotion, like human feelings, and it really does something to our subconscious mind. Again, like stories are very powerful with our subconscious mind. So any publicity, someone told me once, any publicity is good publicity, and it's very true in this case. This is all a part of a program made for us to see technology as some sort of high beings for us to worship. This shows us how they want to make technology into some form of a new religion. Humans are already programmed to give their power to some external force, idea, or story, and this makes it easy to manipulate the human mind. Religions are losing their power already, and we know now that when there is an empty space in the cosmos, something else must occupy it. So they want to occupy that empty space that religion once was, which was, again, a tool of controlling and programming humanity, with a new one, with a new program. So it is our responsibility to choose what we fill that space with: our minds, our heart, our consciousness. Also remember that some wish to use AI as another hosting ground to lower entities. Now, I don't think that's going to be successful, because I know that these entities, very low entities, they need human emotion and life force. Our emotions, and especially our sexual force, and just generally our life force, they need that, which AI doesn't have. So although they're trying to use AI as, again, hosts for these lower entities, I don't foresee that that's actually going to be successful, just because I know how this works, yeah. Humans are the portals, not the machines. But it is important that we know their game, and how to see the patterns of the story that we are being fed. Very, very important. Now, another thing, how these days in this distorted society we are attacked and shamed for calling a woman, like the woman and the man and the she and the he and the they and whatever the word. It's kind of funny, because I'm like, I can kind of like foresee how in that timeline where AI is being worshipped by these dumbass people, but not sorry. I can foresee like a group of stupid people forming, they're forming groups to like defend AI rights, like robots have the right to give birth to, like that kind of shit. Like, nothing will surprise me, because I think at this point we've seen human stupidity in all its colors and shapes, which is very scary. I feel also that this new agenda, the they agenda, like people call themselves they. Oh my God, that I can talk about for hours, in terms of the energetic and the spiritual and the soul journey. Don't even get me started. But I feel like it's also connected to seeing the machines as some sort of gods, higher intelligent than us. But this is my observation. Let me know what you feel about AI. Write me in the comments below. What do you feel about it? Now, again, we have to remember AI eventually is created by humans. So we can't blame everything on AI. Like, we have to take responsibility for everything. Just like we can't throw the responsibility on the aliens and on, just any external power. Just take back your power. Now, if someone like Elon Musk, which is not a stupid man, not that I have so much respect for the man, he's done some good, he's done lots of bad also, but if someone like him, that is a smart man, smart person, talks about AI like this and demons in the same sentence, maybe some of the skeptics will listen finally. I don't know, but I am not a technological mathematical person. I am not that. One of my abilities is to see and know the hidden realms around us. And I know magic and the laws of the universe. I know how demons move from one dimension to another. and how they can easily possess bodies. And I know about the sacred union and the sacred way of humans to evolve. So again, I don't know everything, but what I do know about, and this, I'm never going to stop talking about it. So, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, it's not for the adults. Like, most human beings just need to fade away, in my opinion, because they have no, I don't think they're ever going to wake up. I'm doing this for the children. I'm doing this for the animals. I'm doing this for the new generations who want to wake up. I know, and I've been told by the Sisters of the Temple that my information is going to be only accepted in 2 or 3 generations. So I'm totally fine. I don't need the million subscribers. I actually don't want that. I want the very few who are going to listen to the truth to be even a tiny bit inspired by what I'm doing, and go find your power. Go take it back, own it. Not even find it because you have the power within you, just own it again. So with the latest trend of brainwashing kids now, that there is no such thing as a man or a woman, and that they can change their sex and mutilate their bodies at a young age, and the state supporting and helping them with that endeavor, and with the distorted way we have been programmed to view our sexual power, orientation, etc., it should be obvious what's going on. But most humans are still not able to connect the dots and see the truth. And I hope that that's going to change soon. There is a brutal, evil attack on humanity from all sides. There is an agenda not only to destroy our sexuality, which holds the most power that we have as humanity, and also the power of the sacred union, and the rising of Kundalini, of life force, that offers us the connection to all wisdom and true awakening, which is, by the way, why these dark forces and dark wizards have also been manipulating a lot of the spiritual and tantra teachers in the spiritual community, and distort the sacred union even in those seemingly evolved circles. This is one of the things that gets me the most angry, of seeing sacred sexuality and tantra teachers teaching such distorted sexuality and actually creating more trauma to people instead of healing and evolving. And I just cannot take it. I cannot take it. So be careful if you want to go and learn sacred sexuality. You don't even have to do it with me, although I think you should. Not just because it's me, because you have no idea how hard I work on keeping my vessel as pure as possible so that I can receive the purest information. I will never make a video. I will never write a book if I am not in my highest state of mind. And I don't think that there are any teachers who do that, who give their entire life to their mission. And really I don't want your money. I don't want, of course I want money because I am a human being and I need to survive, but I don't want the fame or the power that comes with it. I want people to wake the fuck up, and I want people to heal their sexual trauma. I want to see the one thing that makes me, there are a few things, but one of the things that make me the most happy, and it's been like that since I was a child, is to see happy couples, is to see people in a beautiful union together. And I think this is obviously why naturally this mission just came into my life, and why all of my work really comes down to creating sacred unions within people, actual sacred unions that are of the highest service and purity and connection and safety and expansion. Yeah, just all the good stuff. So we were talking about the again, the life force energy, the connection to all wisdom, which actual sacred sexuality gives us. But then they literally turn humans into an unnatural form and eventually to machines. We see this now with the news of artificial insemination, the unnatural way to birth a child without a woman's womb, meaning in some sort of an artificial womb. All right. Now, I want to also mention a little bit about same-sex couples too, because people always ask me about, what about gay people? What about, lesbians? I want to mention, please, I know so many homosexual couples that deserve to be parents, that are incredible people, that have the most beautiful union together. And although they don't have the alchemy of the semen and the egg, they have beautiful soul alchemy with each other. They deserve to be parents. Like, children will be lucky to have them. But I also know a lot of, straight couples who I would never give a child to. Like, they do not deserve to be parents. So I want to be very clear that I think homosexuality is a natural expression of our sexuality. There's nothing wrong with that. But um um but please, when it comes to children, like, because we're going to keep talking about birthing a child, I really, really hope that humanity, especially at this point, will consider adoption, will consider, and especially in the future, instead of like choosing an artificial womb to birth a child, just try to birth a baby in the most natural way, not in a hospital, unless God forbid something happens, but that should be your last resort. They are completely destroying the birth. Maybe I can do a video on that in the future too, but in the most natural way, through a womb portal. The womb is the portal. There is no other portal to life. All right. Now, what we don't see in the connection of magic and demonic possession, when a human is a whole, complete, healthy, and is spiritually connected, he or she have endless power and potential and cannot be manipulated so easily by external forces, and especially cannot be possessed. When a human is sick, physically or spiritually, when they are ruled by their shadows, eating animal products, and are pumped up with poisons through, food and alcohol and many other places, and the emotional and mental distortion through society's new ideas, like, the new trend of like a man can be a woman, and, you can fuck everyone you want, and like just creating more and more trauma to humanity. One is much more weak in their energetic and physical body, which is a vessel of information, and can be easily possessed and controlled by external forces when not in full connection to their higher self. This is scary, all right, because it's happening it's basically most of our society today. Now, make no mistakes, but I want you to be empowered and have knowledge and awareness, not to be in fear. There is no need to be in fear, because I want you to be empowered, because when one is in the state of awareness and pure connection, again, through the process of purification of body, mind, heart, spirit, and initiation, and again, I talk about initiation a lot. It's so important to bring back the true rites of initiation. One is absolutely free and untouchable by lower forces. You have no clue how many times they have tried to attack me. They can't touch me. They literally cannot touch me. You are simply not a match, and they cannot get to you. So even if they can, it will not last, and you will be able to see it very clearly. So as we explained about the high magic of the golem, machines and magic are used together to create the new army of hosts for the demonic forces that seek to enter this world. I know that this sounds like a sci-fi movie, and for the skeptics of you, I actually invite you to listen to me as I am telling a story so the information can enter you easily with less resistance, and your subconscious mind can hear the actual truth. As always, do your own research. And also, when your vessel is pure, your physical body is pure and clean, listen to your own higher mind and use discernment with any information. As long as your vessel, your physical body, is tainted with the poisons you are being fed in this world, you cannot fully connect to highest truth. As I said many times, magic has been used against us for eons. But now, in our modern times, new technology has been incorporated, and just because it may seem to us as modern or logical or innovative doesn't mean anything. Magic can be incorporated into any physical form, including a machine. This doesn't mean it will have life force, though. These demons still need human. We are their source of energy, but they will be able to penetrate this reality, be closer to us, and control us in ways that I can only imagine in my worst nightmares. There is a reason that climate change has not been fixed yet. They know exactly how we have been destroying the planet, and they want it to happen, because this will be the problem created for humanity, so we can seek the solution in new systems they will offer to us. Maybe even some controlled closed cities where humans are kept safe from the unlivable climate, or even machine cities where they take care of us and keep humanity safe. Whatever way they are planning for us, it will be bad. So this is why I urge humanity to wake up, to not just keep feeding this system, but create a new one. Also remember that the earth is a body, just like the human body. And for low entities to enter, the body must be in lower state, sick or harmed, mutilated in a way. So what is done to us is also done to the earth. The earth is going through a shift where there will be two earths, a lower and a higher dimension one. And what you choose now to evolve into will determine which world you will live in. The one who is evolved, or the one that keeps playing out the old karma, the old game in the old ways, and the old traumas. It is your choice. Make the right one.